Hello, guys. Thank you so much for the love and support that you're giving me on my YouTube channel. I really appreciate. Youthfulness is not a lifetime moment, it's just a stage. And being a young person, it's a blessing and it's a golden opportunity to transform your life, to change your life. Not just to change the future, but also to make right the wrong things that may have happened to you in the past. Whether it was by your fault or you had no contribution into it. There are things sometimes which happens to us and it's not our fault. And as a young person, instead of sitting down and always complaining and pointing fingers on people who you think or know may have caused the kind of life that you are living right now, you can use that energy to make everything right. We have always heard from the older generation, those people who are older than us, our parents, that we should always take care of our parents, love our parents, appreciate the things that they do. But today, I thought to myself, why can't we stop hearing it from the older generation, from those people who are telling us from experience, from those people who are telling us, guys, love your parents, appreciate them and take care of them, because maybe they have suffered the consequences of not doing so while they were young. And therefore, we as young people, sometimes we focus on the negative things that have happened to us. We are always looking at the things that our parents did not do to us, instead of just focusing on the kind of sacrifice that they went through for us to be who we are. Whether you are in a good position in your life, whether your life is going on well or not, you are who you are because of maybe the choices your parents made when you were young, because of the choices that your parents are still making upon your life while you are still a young person. But at this moment, now that you can see things with a different perspective, now that you can see things as they really are, not from the illusion part of it, focus on the kind of sacrifices that your parents went through, the kind of struggles that you are brought up in, the suffering, the shame that they had to go through for you to be who you are. And ask yourself for a moment, am I going to wait until my parents are dead? Am I going to wait until my parents are normal for me to see their importance in my life? Our parents may have gone through a lot while we were young, may have gone through a lot of sacrifice and suffering to make us who we are, to mold us. But most often, we see the things they never did, instead of those tiny things that they did to us. Your parents, and you can bear me witness, none of them went to take a course on parenting. There's none of our parents who have a degree on parenting, a PhD, none of them. And yet, we expect them to be perfect. We expect them to do everything right. We expect them to get it all right. Yet they are not even angels. They are just normal human beings who are prone to mistakes, who are prone to weaknesses. But we never gave them a chance to be themselves. We never give them a chance to exercise the humanity, the humanness in them of being weak, of making mistakes. Our parents cannot be gods. They always make mistakes. But if we continue focusing on the mistakes they make, on their weaknesses, and not seeing the tiny, small sacrifices, the small efforts that they have given for us to be who we are. We are defined by the choices we make in life. The kind of life that you may have lived in the past may not have been your choice. But now, you have a chance to make a choice. You have a chance to decide to continue living in the unpleasant past that's so painful and hurting to you, or move on to making better choices that are going to give you a better life. Sometimes we forget who we are. We forget where we've come from and focus on things that don't matter in life. Sometimes we ignore the existence of our parents because the only thing that we are seeing is who they never did. And we fail to put them in the brackets of our priority in life. Yes, and you've heard it, that 2 parents can successfully bring up 10 children. But 10 children can terribly fail in taking care of 2 parents. That is a reality of life. They are not just stories. My dear young people, do you want to wait until that moment when your parents will be in a casket for you to tell them how much you love them? Are you waiting for that day when it will be the moment of saying bye-bye to your parents, for you to tell them that the little things they did to you meant a lot to you? Your parent may not have given you the best that you'd have wanted, but believe me, they did their best. There's no single parent in this lifetime who would fail to give their children the best if they have the capacity. I don't believe that there's any of our parents who would, out of choice, decide not to give their children the best life they deserve. But depending with who they are, depending with the level of their, with the capacity of their, maybe the kind of finances they have, the wealth, that's the best they could have given you. But do we often see that? Or are we always dominated with seeing on what the parents of our friends have given them? What our parents did not give us because our friends were given by their parents? Why can't we focus on the little things that our parents gave us and love them for the little they did, and love them for the little effort that we see that's the much they could have done? We have a chance to change our lives. We have a chance to change the perspective of how we see things. If you continue to see things from the perspective of negativity, from the perspective of nothingness, you never see anything good in life. You never appreciate anything good in your life. But if you focus on those teeny tiny things that other people are doing to you, those little moments of joy and happiness that you may have experienced when you were growing up, Once you grow up and you have a family of your own, you have your own children, maybe that's the moment when it will dawn unto you that indeed parenting is not easy. And that's the moment when you come to realize the reasons why your parents made the choices that they did. The reason why your parents sacrificed and gave you the kind of a life that they did. But until then, love your parents for who they are. Don't be embarrassed about who your parents are. They will always be your parents. You can change who you are. You can change the kind of a lifestyle your parents are living. You can change the kind of a lifestyle that you are living. But one thing you never change is your parents. Why do you have to always focus on what others say about the kind of things you should have or you ought to have in life, instead of focusing on who you really are? You know yourself, you know your background better than anyone else. And sometimes we let our friends ruin our lives, because sometimes we walk up friends in our life and they come with all fancy stories of how well they were brought up, a perfect lifestyle. And that's the moment when we come to realize our parents did not give us the best. The moment someone else comes and tells you, this is the kind of an environment that I was brought up in, and then you realize that you are brought up in a completely different environment, that's when you start to realize that you lacked something. But why do you give someone a chance to tell you who you are, to remind you of the past, which may not even be so present for you to remember? The kind of friend you associate yourself with determines even the perspective that you see your parents with. And so, we have to decide, because it's a decision that everybody makes, to see the good side of our parents. Yes, it may have seemed like they are failures, according to your perspective, according to the mirror that you're looking at the things that they did to you. It could be physical abuse, sexual abuse. Most of us have gone through all kind of suffering, varieties of torture while we were growing up. But we can't keep on holding on to that. Why don't you use that suffering? Why don't you use that pain to bring you healing? Why don't you use that lackness that you went through where you are young to bring abundance in your life? We have to treat our parents right, because I believe that while we appreciate our parents, while we tell our parents that, Mom and Dad, I'm so proud of who you are, I'm so proud of you, I love you the way you are, I appreciate the little things that you've done to me. Imagine what kind of an energy, what kind of a motivation those kind of statements would give to our parents. But most often, what do? We show our parents that nothing they've done is good for us. There's none of the efforts they have done to our lives that means anything to us. We break their heart. And we don't give them the motivation to do even better thing to us. Sometimes you see that your parents do not have the energy. They do not have the motivation to even provide for you. Sometimes you feel like they would have done something better. They would have gone an extra mile to provide for you. But could it be that you are doing this to yourself? That instead of telling them and appreciating the little things that they are doing, instead of telling them that the few things they have provided you with means a lot to you, you keep on showing them that you can even do without them. Your actions keeps telling them that, Mom and Dad, I don't need you in my life. I'm better off without you. And those things hurt them. They do. As a young person, you have a chance to choose to see good things in life, to see the positive things that are happening in your life, instead of focusing on the positive or the negative things and the things that you are not receiving and the things that the universe is not giving you. When you look at the things your parents are not giving you, ask yourself, what am I giving them? Our parents will never ask for any monetary thing from us. They don't want us to give them money. They don't want us to give them the houses, the cars. They don't want that. If only you can know that our parents just want to hear those magical words of, I love you, Mom. I love you, Dad. I appreciate you, Mom, for who you are. And I love the things that you've done to me. Those words would give them a great feeling, would change their life. It would change their perspective. It would just transform them far much better than wealth can do. Stop seeing what your parents didn't do to you. Start seeing the little things that they gave to you. You may have wanted much, but your parents gave you true, necessary, basic things. If they never gave you what you needed in your life, you'd not be where you are. You'd not be who you are. Those things that you think they ought to give you, they were not necessary. Maybe they would even have made you worse than you are. Imagine if you were brought up in that kind of a fancy, luxurious kind of life that you think of right now. Would you have been as hard as you are right now? Would you have been as creative as you are right now? Would you have had the strength and the energy to overcome hardship and tough moments in life as you are now? But here you are, blaming your parents for everything. Why don't we stop this? We can decide to see the goodness in everything that our parents did to us or they are doing to us. Support them emotionally. Let them feel good about their efforts. Let them feel good about their sacrifice. Your parents have sacrificed a lot for you to be who you are, for you to be where you are. They would have used the time they used to mold you, to go and have fun. They would have just left you and abandoned you, but they didn't. They gave you that warmth. They gave you that love. They nurtured you. They took care of you. Why don't you then stop focusing on all the things they never gave you, all the negative things they did to you, and focus on that single thing that was good about them? One good thing can overcome a multitude, a mountain of evil. One good thing, one positive thing can overcome a dozen of negative things. And one mistake cannot be given a chance in your life to cover up all the good things that happen to you. Focus on what is light. Focus on the good things. Focus on the positive. Support your parents, not financially, emotionally. Make them feel good about themselves. Make them feel that their efforts, their sacrifice matters to you. Thank you so much, guys. We have a chance to make our parents feel proud of themselves because of the little sacrifices they have done to us. Let us love them. Let us show them the care through our actions, through our hands. You don't have to wait until your parents are dead for you to say, I wish I knew. You can do it now. Now that you have a chance, do it. And as you do it and I do it, let us learn how to see the negative side of our life. Even in the midst of all the negativity that is around us, focus on the positive. Thank you so much, guys. I'm so much humbled to address these issues to you. And as they come to me, I'll bring them to you. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you so much. Continue sharing my videos to other people. Inspire them. Let that young person who is afraid of you change their life today through the words that I've just given to you. Subscribe to my channel, guys, if you have not. Watch my videos, share them, and even like. Comment. Tell me in the comments how to make my videos better and even how to inspire you more. And I appreciate. Thank you so much. See you in the next episode of my videos. God bless you.